Out of the three premium Japanese brands, Acura is the one generating the most buzz at the moment. Lexus seems to be resting on its laurels a little bit right now. Infiniti, well, there's not a whole lot to say about them at the moment, but Acura is generating a lot of excitement as it recommits itself as a performance brand. The recently announced and redesigned 2021 TLX and the return of the iconic Type S has captured the attention of the automobile enthusiasts around the world, even though Acura is really only a North American brand. And today, we finally have more details on the upcoming TLX Type S, and yes, horsepower is on the list. Welcome back, Luxurious Fleet. My name's Kirk if you're new to the channel, and this channel is dedicated to Japanese autos. Subscribe, hit the bell icon so you won't miss any of my breaking news on Acura and other vehicles from the land of the rising sun. August 30th starts the 98th running of Pike's Peak International Hill Climb. Acura will be there in full force this year with 4 different vehicles. Of course, the flagship NSX will be entered in with the time trial Attack 1 class for the 3rd consecutive year. But what about the other 3 cars? Yes, of course, they're none other than the new 2021 TLX cars. One of the entrants is a stock TLX with the turbo 4-cylinder producing 272 horsepower and a girthy 280 pound-feet of torque. The ECU has been tuned a little bit for this specific event, but other than that, and maybe a little upgraded brake pads here and there, there's not a whole lot different. Let's go over to the pictures to see how this model might be different than what you will see on showrooms floors this fall. All right, here's the car. We know the base model, the non-TLX Type S, is not going to have these weight reduction wheels. These wheels are the top of the line optional wheels that are offered for the TLX, only on the Type S that I'm aware of. But you can see this does look like a road-worthy car. You have parking sensors, you have the large and in-charge radar cruise control sensor there. You have hood clips. You're not going to see hood clips. Let's zoom in there. Yeah, you're not going to see hood clips on the production model. See it in action going extra fast around the turns. And this is the last picture we have of it, but yeah, it looks pretty stock. But let's go back. You can see that's not a stock seat here. So there have been modifications done to the internals of the car, probably for weight reduction, and we'll see that as we cover another Acura TLX here in a second. Hey guys, smash the like button. That helps me out so much on the YouTube algorithm. And maybe if we get enough likes, Acura will slap a turbo V6 and a Type S badge on all of their product stack. The second entrant is a modified monster of a TLX. It has an upgraded turbo, they've done a ton of ECU changes on it, and it takes the brakes from the TLX Type S. And this souped up Turbo 4 should be producing easily over 300 horsepower from my estimations, which isn't bad for a little 2-liter. So let's take a couple peeks at this track-ready TLX. Okay, and then this is the one we spoke about first. Here's the second one, and as you can see, there's still technology on here that's going to be in the production car. And obviously the big change, other than the difference in colors, but it's the exact same paint design or wrap, whatever you want to call it, is this huge wing on the back, which we'll get a better look here in a sec. And man, the front of the new TLX just looks so sharp, and I love the dual headlights on this particular model. Okay, so that leaves just one more TLX that we haven't talked about, and yes, it's the Type S. This will be the dedicated pace car for the Pikes Peak Hill Climb. The production TLX Type S won't be available until spring with its turbo 3-liter V6 and super handling all-wheel drive, but I do have some pre-production horsepower and torque numbers that we have been speculating about for, gosh, was it been two months at this point in time? Let's get a little drum roll. All right, it has 355 horsepower and 354 pound-feet of torque. Keep in mind, Acura is still tuning this engine for the production model, but expect these numbers to be awfully close to the final ones we see in spring of 2021. So here's the Type S. We don't have a whole lot of pictures for it, but there it is. And those wheels do look sick with how they're blacked out. Of course, you know it's a Type S by this huge emblem right there. But interestingly, guys, you see like standard headlights. And I think it's because that this is a pace car. They're nothing close to the Jewel headlights. They're kind of ugly, but I think it's because it's a pace car. But you can see there's Sparco seats in there, some racing seats. And then here's the interior of, this is the race car, like the blue one we saw earlier with the upgraded turbo in it. You can see that looks like my child seat, guys, like for my kids. That's how bolstered these seats are in this Pikes Peak I can't say time attack today, guys. This time attack car up Pikes Peak. Those are some tense seats. You can see this racing massive steering wheel, definitely super lightweight. They took out the steering column plastic. They took out this plastic on the left-hand side. You can see the door has been stripped, and I don't see another seat over here. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's no other seats in this vehicle. And then there's that awesome wing. Most of the times I'm not a big fan of wings on cars, but this is purpose. This has a purpose to it, and probably because it's purpose built to help this car go faster, I think it's pretty attractive. So what do you guys think? Is that 355 horsepower what you were expecting? I think initially I got really excited and I'm like, oh, you know, it's gonna have 400 horsepower. I'm even, you know, some people were even telling me like 450 horsepower. They're like, oh yeah, no, I work in Acura, and you know, that's always possible. I get people commenting, I don't know where they're from. That's always possible. Maybe they have some prototype in the factory or behind scenes somewhere that has 450 horsepower. Production version has 355 or close to that. The pre-production, I should say, has the 355 and equivalent pound-feet of torque. But I do still think that is a fairly modest horsepower number. We look at the Infiniti Redline series from the 3-liter V6 twin turbo, and they have a 300 horsepower variant and they have a 400 horsepower variant. You look at the BMW Inline 6 with the B58 engine, that has around 380 horsepower in the Supra, and the competition engines have like 500 horsepower, up to 500 horsepower. Now, are they going to be long-term as reliable as the 380 horsepower versions? Probably not. But what does this mean for this engine at 355? Well, I think this is a good starting point for Acura, for them to get their feet wet, to re-identify themselves as a performance brand, and that is enough power for the vast majority of people. I think this engine still has more potential here, guys, for them to have like a Type S R or something like that. Another tier above, let's say it's 400 horsepower or somewhere around there. I still think there is room if they're going to, because the S-Type at this point is almost a mainstream option for them. We're going to see it quite often. It's not like a super elusive, exclusive Lexus F brand like an ISF, GSF, RCF. Those are all super, super rare. We're going to see Type S's all the time. And price-wise, it's probably going to be around 50,000, where like I mentioned Lexus a second ago. Entry point for the F brand, you're looking at 80,000 plus, somewhere in there. So I cannot wait to see you guys in the comments. We've been speculating for months now on what these horsepower numbers were going to be for the Type S, and now we have them, and I'm really, really excited for this car. I can't wait to get my hands on it and share my impressions with you guys, because if you think I'm excited now, just wait till I'm in the car giving you my hands-on impressions of it. So as always, guys, domo arigato. Thank you so much for watching. You guys are making my dreams come true, and I'll catch you in the next video as always, and until then, peace out.